let me kind of explain to everybody why. You know what I'm saying? I feel the way I feel about the situation with the Black Lives Matter and Back the Blue and this injustice. I mean, police officers gunning down young unarmed individuals. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say black men. I'm gonna say individuals. You know what I'm saying? It's not the only type of injustice that some people, you know what I'm saying, and right here I will say black men encounter, you know what I'm saying, when they have them running in with the police. When my son died of SIDS, you know what I'm saying, and I was on the phone with the paramedics, you know what I'm saying, the paramedics were walking me through CPR, you know what I'm saying, and I was going through what I was going through trying to save my son's life at this time, and I got my baby mama next to me, and I got my kids next to me, and they see their son dead on the floor right here, you know what I'm saying, we trying to save him, revive him, or whatever. So, as soon as the first responders, the first police officers get on the scene, let me explain to y'all what happened to me. And this is injustice on my behalf, where I speak for all injustice. The first two police officers come through my door, the first thing they ask me for is my ID. As soon as they get my ID from me, the first thing they do is go downstairs and run a check on my name. Now, mind you, my son is still sitting here in front of this dress on this floor dead. You know what I'm saying? So now here comes another police officer that's a little older, you know what I'm saying? Probably about 50 or so, you know what I'm saying? Had probably been on the force way longer than the younger guys that came in the door first, you know what I'm saying? So he has a little compassion as well, you know what I'm saying? So here goes your good laws and your bad laws, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, he picks up my son and takes him out to the ambulance, you know what I'm saying? Finally, someone picks him up and takes him out to the ambulance. Okay, so now the police come back to me and they tell me that the only way they can do anything to try to save my son's life or anything to try to help my son or the situation that I'm having right now at hand is if I sign a search warrant. Only way they can help my situation or try to revive my son or save my son's life is if I sign a search warrant. So, do y'all think that's an injustice? To me, I feel like that's an injustice. To this day, I still deal with the scenario of the fact that maybe something else could have been a different outcome if my name wouldn't have been the issue of being ran, or the issue of me signing a search warrant in order to go through my apartment and search my apartment in order before y'all could even try to do anything to assist my son. So as we go back and forth about I don't understand the reason and tell me why the law states that this search warrant has to be signed in order for you to try to take care of or save my son. No one has a good valid answer for the question at hand, but I get told by the same compassionate officer that, just go ahead and sign the search warrant, let them do what they need to do because let them go ahead and get to your son. So, okay, I understand. I relate to the guy that had compassion with me as soon as he comes through my door. So I signed the search warrant or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And they go through my apartment and continue, and do what police officers do. This other officer, the compassionate officer, the good officer that's also on the scene with the bad officers also comes to me and he says, I can't really say that I understand where you're coming from, but I can say that I have kids. And I wouldn't even be able to imagine or want to imagine to be in your situation at this point. So all I ask you, sir, is can I pray with you? So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, he prays with me, you know what I'm saying, he lifts my spirits a little bit because this guy is compassionate to my situation. Granted, the whole time that all this is going on, they're still searching my apartment or whatnot. Nothing has been done. Nobody has tried to revive or anything dealing with my son. My son is still sitting out in the parking lot inside this ambulance and everything of that nature. So again, I say, is this injustice? Because to me, I feel like I was done an injustice. So, granted, I understand the Back the Blue. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I understand the all lives matter, but y'all gotta understand me from this personal experience that I had on why I feel like Black lives matter and Black lives didn't matter that morning when we woke up and our son was not breathing inside of his crib. So again, I say, like I've always stated in every video that I've made, you know what I'm saying? You have to be able to relate. If you can't relate to a person that hasn't having to bury a child, you really can't really voice or say, you know what I'm saying, how a person feels or how a person should react or what's going on, because from that day forward, from the time that their child what died, or from the time that they viewed the body for the first time or whatever. That is gonna be the only memory. That might be the last thing that they see every time they close their eyes every night. Because every time I close my eyes every night, every time I close my eyes every single night, I replay that morning to myself. Every time I see an injustice on TV, I replay that morning to myself. So, I mean, injustice, you know what I'm saying? You can have all kind of different definitions to injustice, you know what I'm saying? I mean, gunning down on individuals is injustice, you know what I'm saying? My personal experience to me was an injustice, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so anytime you have a run-in with people, I mean, with officers and they do you any kind of way that other than what the law states, if they handle you any kind of way other than they're supposed to handle you by the oath that they took, then that's an injustice. So, I mean, we all know that we see more injustice in the minority communities. And that's all we're saying. That quit letting it be injustice and let us get some justice.